The lecture hall smelled like disinfectant and arrogance. 300 alien students filled the tiered seats, their scales gleaming under fluorescent lights, their tentacles tapping impatiently on desks, their compound eyes tracking Professor Vexar as he paced the stage. Only one human sat among them. Chen kept her gaze down, stylus moving across her datapad in steady strokes. Dark hair fell across her face like a curtain. She wore the standard academy jumpsuit, gray and unremarkable, and she never raised her hand, never spoke unless directly addressed. In 6 months at the Galactic Military Institute on Proxima Station, she had become invisible, exactly as she intended. The humans, Professor Vexar announced, his forearms gesturing dramatically, represent perhaps the greatest military failure in known history. Despite their aggressive tendencies, they possess neither the physical resilience of the Crawford, the tactical intelligence of the Sarathi, nor the technological advancement of the quantum collective. Scattered clicks of approval echoed through the hall. Vexar's golden eyes swept the room, landing briefly on Maya before moving on. She did not react. Their homeworld designation, Earth, barely qualified for admission to this institution. We accepted precisely one candidate as a gesture of diplomacy, a charity case, if you will. More clicking. A few hissing laughs from the reptilian Setharak in the back rows. Maya's stylus never stopped moving. Her expression remained neutral, almost bored. Inside, she was counting insults, counting days, counting the exact number of ways she could dismantle Vexar's credibility when the moment arrived. Not yet, though. Not yet. Class ended with the usual dismissal. Students filed out in clusters, speaking languages that rattled and chirped and hummed. Maya packed her supplies slowly, waiting until the hall emptied. She always left last. Miss Chen. She looked up. Vexar stood at the podium, mandibles clicking softly. Yes, Professor? Your tactical analysis paper on the Battle of Regulus 7. It was adequate. Maya nodded once. Thank you, sir. However, your conclusions about human involvement were optimistic. The historical records clearly show that human forces contributed minimally to the victory. I cited primary sources, Professor. Combat logs from the flagship Valiant. Logs can be manipulated, enhanced. Human propaganda is well documented. Maya felt her jaw tighten. She forced it to relax. Of course, sir. I will revise my assessment. Vexar's mandibles spread in what might have been a smile. See that you do. Dismissed. She walked through the corridors of Proxima Station with measured steps. The station orbited a dying star, its artificial gravity generators humming beneath the metal floors. Windows displayed the vast darkness of space, punctuated by distant galaxies, beautiful and cold. Her quarters were small, a sleeping pod, a desk, a hygiene station, regulation furnishings, nothing personal. She locked the door behind her and finally allowed her shoulders to drop. The datapad on her desk blinked with an incoming message. Encrypted. Triple verification required. Maya's fingers flew across the interface. The message decrypted, revealing a single line of text and an attachment. Package delivered. Authorization confirmed. Execute at your discretion. She opened the attachment. Thousands of files bloomed across her screen. Military records, classified intelligence reports, intercepted communications, everything she had been gathering for the past 6 months, now organized and verified. And buried within those files, the truth about the Battle of Regulus 7. Maya leaned back, allowing herself the smallest smile. Professor Vexar had no idea who sat in his classroom. The Galactic Military Institute prided itself on producing the finest tactical minds in known space. Its curriculum combined theoretical warfare, advanced weapons systems, and practical combat simulation. Students competed ruthlessly for top rankings, knowing that graduation meant command positions in the most powerful fleets. Maya ranked 73rd out of 87 students. She wore that ranking like camouflage. Morning drills began at 0600. Physical conditioning in the gravity chambers, where instructors could adjust weight and resistance to challenge different species. Maya struggled through each session, her human physiology clearly disadvantaged compared to the 8-limbed Octari or the massively muscled Cravor. Commander Thrace, a towering insectoid with razor mandibles, watched her fail to complete the obstacle course for the 15th time. Pathetic, he chittered. Humans lack even basic coordination. Maya pulled herself up from the padded floor, breathing hard. Yes, sir. Why are you even here, Chen? Your species has no place in military command. I am trying to learn, sir. Learning requires capacity. You clearly possess none. She said nothing. Just returned to the starting line and tried again. What Thrace did not see was the micro-adjustments she made with each attempt. The way she memorized each obstacle's timing. The subtle testing of her limits, finding exactly how far she could push before genuine failure occurred. She was not training to pass. She was gathering data. Afternoons brought tactical simulations. Students entered holographic environments and commanded virtual fleets through complex scenarios. Victory earned points, defeat meant public humiliation. Maya lost frequently. Her strategies seemed conventional, even predictable. She made obvious mistakes that drew scorn from her classmates. The human deploys her forces in a standard defensive formation, sneered Crix, a Sarathi whose brain capacity exceeded human levels by orders of magnitude. How tedious. The simulation played out. Maya's fleet was surrounded and destroyed within minutes. Perhaps, Crix continued, his translator rendering his clicks into condescending standard, you should consider a career in sanitation services. I hear your species excels at menial labor. The other students rippled with amusement. Maya reset her console. You are probably right. I will try to improve. She tried. She failed. Again and again. What none of them realized was that every failure taught her something new about their tactics, about their thinking, about the patterns they followed, the assumptions they made, the weaknesses they could not see in themselves. She was not learning to command fleets. She was learning to destroy commanders. Weeks passed. Maya maintained her routine, invisible in classes, struggling in drills, unremarkable in every measurable way. But at night in her locked quarters, she studied. The files on her datapad revealed everything. The Galactic Council had rewritten history after Regulus 7. They had taken a battle won almost single-handedly by human tactical genius and attributed it to a coalition effort. They had erased the contributions of Captain Sarah Martinez, whose unconventional strategies had turned certain defeat into legendary victory. They had erased her because she was human, because admitting human superiority threatened the established hierarchy, and they had killed her to keep the secret safe. Maya stared at the final report. Captain Martinez, her mentor, her friend, listed as killed in action, heroic sacrifice during retreat. The truth was simpler. The Sarathi High Command had sabotaged her ship after the battle, made it look like an accident, buried her along with the evidence of human capability. Maya's hands trembled as she closed the file. She had spent 2 years gathering proof. Another 6 months infiltrating this academy, playing weak, playing stupid, playing the role they expected. Now she had everything she needed. The midterm examination arrived with bureaucratic ceremony. Every student would face a live combat scenario, commanding actual drones in real space beyond the station. Performance would determine final rankings and, ultimately, career trajectory. The examination hall buzzed with nervous energy. Students checked their equipment, reviewed strategies, formed alliances. Maya sat alone, as always. Attention, announced Dean Korvax, a crystalline being whose voice resonated like struck glass. You will each command a squadron of 12 combat drones. Your objective is simple. Survive the longest against an adaptive enemy AI. Top performers will receive commendations. Failures will face remedial training. The scenarios began alphabetically. Maya watched as student after student took their turn, some lasting minutes, others mere seconds. The enemy AI was ruthless, exploiting every weakness. Crix lasted 18 minutes, a new record. He emerged from his command pod with mandibles clicking in satisfaction. Let us see how the human performs, he announced to the gathered crowd. I predict 30 seconds before complete annihilation. Laughter rippled through the hall. Chen, Maya, you are next. She walked to the command pod, ignoring the whispers. The interface sealed around her, haptic feedback gloves activating. 12 drones appeared on her tactical display, hovering in empty space. The enemy AI spawned, 30 identical drones, superior weapons, superior speed. The clock started. Maya did not hesitate. Her fingers moved across the controls with practiced precision. Her drones scattered in a pattern that looked random, chaotic. The enemy AI pursued, calculating, adapt. Then Maya sprang the trap. 3 drones executed a pincer movement that the AI had not predicted, forcing it to split its formation. While it recalculated, Maya's remaining forces struck from an impossible angle, using the station's gravity well as a slingshot. The enemy drones fell in cascading explosions. The hall went silent. Maya continued. The AI adapted, but she had already anticipated its adaptation. Every move it made she had prepared for, every strategy it deployed, she countered 3 steps ahead. 5 minutes passed. 10, 15. At 20 minutes she had lost only 2 drones. The enemy AI had been reduced to 8 units, desperately defensive. At 25 minutes she initiated a maneuver that should have been impossible, using debris from destroyed drones as projectiles. Slingshot trajectories calculated to the millimeter, she eliminated the remaining enemy forces in a single coordinated strike. Total victory. Silence filled the examination hall as Maya emerged from the pod. Every eye, every sensor, every consciousness focused on her. Dean Korvax's crystalline form shimmered with confusion. That was unexpected. Yes, sir, Maya said quietly. May I be excused? You may not. Explain your tactics. They were unlike anything in the standard curriculum. Maya met the dean's multifaceted gaze. I studied the Battle of Regulus 7, the actual battle, not the sanitized version in our textbooks. Captain Sarah Martinez employed similar strategies when facing overwhelming odds. Professor Vexar stepped forward, his golden eyes narrowing. Impossible. Those records are classified. How did you access them? I did not access anything inappropriate. Professor, I merely requested primary source documents through proper channels. The Galactic Archives are available to all Academy students. Technically true. She had used proper channels. She simply had not mentioned that she possessed decryption keys that should not exist. Crix pushed through the crowd, his massive brain case pulsing with agitation. The human cheated. She must have hacked the simulation. The simulation is unhackable, Dean Korvax stated. Multiple independent systems verify integrity. Then she had prior knowledge of the enemy patterns. The AI generates unique scenarios for each student. Prior knowledge is impossible. The dean turned back to Maya. You have been hiding your abilities. No, sir. I have been learning, observing, improving. Your previous performance suggested no such capacity. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Humans are good at being underestimated. We have had a lot of practice. The room erupted in chaos. Accusations flew. Demands for investigation. Calls for her expulsion. Through it all, Maya stood calm, hands clasped behind her back. She had revealed just enough, shown just enough skill to be noticed, but not enough to expose her true capabilities. Not yet. That night, Maya received another encrypted message. Phase 1 complete. Proceed to Phase 2. Targets identified. Authorization granted. She deleted the message and began preparations. Tomorrow, Professor Vexar would learn what it meant to insult humanity. Tomorrow, the Galactic Military Institute would discover that the quiet girl in the back of the classroom was not a charity case. She was a hunter, and they were her prey. Professor Vexar called an emergency faculty meeting before dawn. Maya knew because she had tapped into the Academy's communication network 3 months ago. She listened through her encrypted earpiece as he ranted to his colleagues about the human problem. She cannot be allowed to continue. Vexar insisted, if she performs well in final examinations, it undermines decades of established doctrine about human limitations. What do you propose? Asked Commander Thrace. She has broken no rules. Then we change the rules. The final examination. We make it impossible. Dean Korvax's crystalline voice chimed in. Impossible is a dangerous word, Vexar. If she succeeds, we appear incompetent. If she fails and discovers we manipulated the scenario, we face legal consequences. She is one human against the entire faculty. What legal recourse could she possibly have? Maya smiled in the darkness of her quarters. They had no idea how wrong they were. She had not come to this academy for an education. She had come for justice. The morning briefing gathered all students in the main auditorium. Dean Korvax announced the final examination parameters. Each student would face a comprehensive tactical scenario combining fleet command, ground operations, and diplomatic negotiation. The simulation would last 6 hours. Success required balancing all 3 elements. Additionally, Korvax continued, we have introduced a new variable. Each student will face a personalized challenge based on their species' historical strengths and weaknesses. This ensures fair evaluation across different biological and cultural contexts. Maya, understood immediately. They were targeting her specifically. She was not concerned. That afternoon, she received a visitor. A small, elderly human woman appeared at her door, using a visitor pass that should not have been approved. "May I come in?" the woman asked. Maya stepped aside. The door sealed. "You look like your mother," the woman said. "Same eyes, same determination." "Director Chen," Maya replied. "I did not expect you in person." Her grandmother, Director Elena Chen, headed Earth's intelligence division. She had been running this operation from the beginning. "I needed to see for myself, to make sure you were ready." "I am ready." Elena studied her granddaughter with professional assessment. "Sarah Martinez was my best agent. Losing her hurt more than just our capabilities. She was family." "I know. This academy, these faculty members, they represent everything wrong with the Galactic Council. They believe humanity is inferior. They teach that belief to every military officer in known space. That doctrine costs human lives every day." Maya met her grandmother's gaze. "That ends tomorrow. The evidence you have gathered will destroy careers, possibly destabilize the council itself. Are you prepared for those consequences?" Captain Martinez died because they feared the truth. "I am prepared to make sure her sacrifice meant something." Elena nodded slowly. "Then finish this. Make them remember that humans are not prey." She left as quietly as she had arrived. Maya returned to her preparations. Tomorrow's examination was not the real test. Tomorrow was the stage, the performance, the moment when everything she had built would come crashing down on those who thought themselves untouchable. She worked through the night, finalizing her presentation. Not the tactical simulation they expected, something far more devastating. The examination began at 0800. Students entered individual simulation chambers, sealed inside for the duration. Maya settled into her pod, interface activating around her. The scenario loaded. She was given command of a human fleet facing a superior Sarathi force. Classic underdog situation. The twist: her own coalition allies were withholding support, forcing her to negotiate while under fire. Exactly the kind of impossible situation designed to make her fail. Maya ignored the simulation entirely. Instead, she activated a hidden submarine she had embedded in the Academy's network months ago. The simulation pod became a broadcast station. Every screen in the Academy, every monitor, every display suddenly showed the same thing: her face. "Live Theed. Good morning," she said calmly. "My name is Maya Chen. For the past 6 months, I have attended this academy under false pretenses. I am not a student. I am an intelligence operative for Earth's government, and I am here to reveal a truth that has been buried for 2 years." In the monitoring room, faculty members scrambled to shut down the broadcast. They failed. Maya's encryption was military grade. "On the screen behind me," she continued, "you will see classified documents from the Battle of Regulus 7. The Galactic Council has taught that this battle was won through coalition efforts. That is a lie." Files began appearing. Combat logs, communication transcripts, tactical analyses. The battle was won by Captain Sarah Martinez of Earth's Naval Intelligence. Her strategies, her leadership, her sacrifice. The coalition forces were in full retreat when she turned the tide. More documents. Video footage from ship cameras. Martinez's voice giving orders, clear and confident, coordinating forces across 3 star systems. Captain Martinez was subsequently murdered by Sarathi High Command. To prevent this truth from becoming public, her ship was sabotaged. The evidence was destroyed. Until now, the auditorium erupted in chaos. Students shouted questions. Faculty demanded explanations. Security forces tried to breach Maya's simulation pod. She had anticipated all of it. "Professor Vexar," Maya said, her voice cutting through the noise, "you have spent 6 months teaching students that humans are militarily inferior. You have used falsified records and propaganda to support that doctrine. I have here your personal communications with Sarathi intelligence, showing that you knowingly participated in the cover-up of Captain Martinez's achievements." Vexar's image appeared on split screen, his golden eyes wide with panic. He tried to speak, but Maya continued relentlessly. "Commander Thrace, you have systematically failed human candidates in physical training, claiming biological inferiority. Yet the actual performance data shows humans meeting or exceeding standards in endurance and adaptability. You altered those records." Drace's mandibles clicked frantically as he attempted to access his personal files, only to find them locked.
Dean Korvax, you approved the assassination of Captain Martinez. Your signature appears on the authorization documents. You ordered her death to maintain institutional credibility.
The crystalline Dean shattered a display panel in rage. Security forces surrounded Maya's pod, weapons drawn. You cannot shoot through the pod without killing me, Maya noted. And my broadcast is being transmitted across 37 Galactic Council worlds. Millions are watching. If I die, it only confirms everything I have revealed. She leaned forward, staring directly into the camera. Humanity has been patient. We have endured condescension, discrimination, sabotage. We have proven ourselves in battle after battle, only to watch others claim credit. We have lost brilliant officers, like Captain Martinez, because you feared what human capability represents. Her voice hardened. That ends today. The evidence I have compiled will be reviewed by independent investigators. Those responsible for war crimes will face trial, and this academy built on lies and prejudice will be reformed or dismantled. You have no authority, Vexar shouted. You are one operative from a minor world. Maya smiled. It was not a pleasant expression. Actually, Professor, I have significant authority. While you were busy underestimating me, Earth's government was busy building alliances with worlds who are tired of Surethi dominance, with species who have also suffered under council prejudice, with military commanders who respect actual competence over political doctrine. New images appeared on screen: fleet deployments, diplomatic agreements, trade. As of this morning, 17 council worlds have signed the Nova Accords, establishing new protocols for military cooperation based on merit rather than species. Earth now commands the third-largest coalition fleet in known space. The auditorium fell silent. We are not asking for your approval, Maya continued. We are informing you of reality. Humans are not going away. We are not inferior, and we will not be silenced. She pressed a final command. The simulation pod unsealed. Security forces rushed forward, but stopped as a new presence entered the auditorium. Admiral Kenji Sato, commander of Earth's Fourth Fleet, walked down the central aisle in full dress uniform. Behind him marched 20 armed soldiers. Professor Vexar, the admiral said quietly, you are under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder and falsification of military records. Dean Korvax, you are similarly charged with war crimes under the Geneva Conventions as adopted by the Galactic Council. You cannot enforce human law here, Korvax protested. The Nova Accords say otherwise. Check your legal databases. They have been updated. Chaos erupted again, but this time Earth's forces were in control. Students who had mocked Maya for months watched in stunned silence as their professors were led away in restraints. Crix approached her slowly, his massive brain case pulsing with visible confusion. You deceived us, he said. All of us. For months. Yes, Maya replied simply. That was brilliant. She raised an eyebrow. I thought humans lacked intelligence. I was wrong, we were all wrong. He gestured at the frozen screens still displaying evidence of institutional corruption. This changes everything. It does. Will you continue at the academy? Under new administration? Maya considered. Perhaps, if the curriculum focuses on actual tactics rather than propaganda. Admiral Sato joined them. Miss Chen, your mission is complete. Earth's government is grateful. Captain Martinez deserved better than a cover-up, sir. She did. Her name will now be taught correctly. Her strategies studied. Her legacy preserved. He paused. She would be proud of you. Maya felt her throat tighten. She had spent so long being cold, calculated, hidden. Allowing emotion back in was harder than she expected. Thank you, sir. Earth needs officers like you, like Martinez. Will you accept a commission? After I finish my education. The real education. He smiled. Understood. I will have new instructors assigned. Ones who actually know what they are talking about. Over the following weeks, the Galactic Military Institute underwent complete restructuring. Faculty members implicated in the cover-up faced military tribunals. New administrators, selected from multiple species, including humans, implemented curriculum reforms. Maya continued her studies, but now her classmates treated her with wary respect. Some with fear, others with genuine curiosity. She found she did not enjoy the attention. Being invisible had been easier, but Captain Martinez had never sought attention either. She had simply done what was necessary. regardless of recognition. Maya could honor that legacy. 3 months after her revelation, the Academy held a memorial service. A monument was unveiled in the main plaza listing officers who had been erased from official histories. Captain Sarah Martinez's name appeared first, rendered in multiple languages. Maya stood before it, alone in the early morning. "You taught me that humans do not need to be the strongest or the fastest," she said quietly to the engraved name. "We just need to be the smartest, the most persistent, the most willing to do what others think impossible." The monument offered no response. Stone and metal never did, but Maya felt something settle in her chest. A weight she had carried for 2 years finally easing. Justice was not the same as revenge. She had learned that distinction. Revenge would have been destroying the academy, humiliating every instructor, burning down the entire system. Justice was exposing truth, holding the guilty accountable, changing the system so it could not harm others. Martinez would have chosen justice. So had Maya. "Miss Chen?" she turned. A young Craver student stood nearby, hesitant. "Yes?" "I wanted to apologize. I laughed when they mocked you. I thought humans were weak." Maya studied the student. Genuine remorse showed in the set of his shoulders. "What changed your mind?" "I read Captain Martinez's tactical analyses. I have never seen such innovative thinking. And I watched your examination performance. You are exceptional." "Thank you. Would you be willing to tutor me? I want to learn how humans approach tactical problems." Maya considered refusing. Maintaining distance seemed safer. Then she thought of Martinez, who had mentored dozens of young officers regardless of species, who believed in sharing knowledge rather than hoarding it. "Yes," Maya said, "I can do that." The student's expression brightened. "Thank you. I will not disappoint you." As he walked away, Maya felt something unexpected. Hope. The Galactic Council had built their power on the assumption that some species were inherently superior, that hierarchy was natural, that humans, young and weak, could never challenge established order. They had been wrong, and Maya had proven it without firing a single shot. She returned to her quarters that evening to find another encrypted message waiting. From her grandmother. "Well done, Operative Chen. Martinez's legacy is secure. Your next assignment awaits when you are ready. Earth has many truths that need revealing." Maya smiled. The quiet girl in the back of the classroom had been a role, a disguise, a necessary deception. But Maya Chen, intelligence operative, tactical genius, hunter of those who thought themselves untouchable, that was who she truly was. And the galaxy was full of people who needed to learn what happened when they underestimated humanity. She deleted the message and began reviewing files for her next mission. The hunt never ended. It just evolved. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.